All right, here we are in Module 7. We're rolling up our sleeves to build quality screens, going through some of the things we've learned about the data and all the processes to build a background check. All right, this is where you go from a buyer of background screens to you being an expert or an architect, crafting background checks that literally protect your organization, employees, customers, kids, or volunteers, whatever is at stake. Today, we're reviewing the primary components of a screen, comparing low quality versus high quality approaches, and showing you how to avoid getting duped by a good deal. All right, this is your chance to become the pro who builds screens that don't miss a beat. Building a quality screen starts with a choice. Are you going to check a box to save cost or protecting your organization with a robust process? Too many buyers don't know how screens are built, so they fall for cheap packages that cut corners. Remember, I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen low quality screens let fraudsters slip through, literally costing millions of dollars. Your goal, build a screen that balances cost, compliance, and coverage. It's like building a house. You need a strong foundation, and that's your data sources. So let's break down the 5 key components you need to decide on to create a background screen that's a fortress, not a shack. All right. First, the components building a screen, it's like assembling a puzzle, but you got to answer a few questions. Number 1, how will you find jurisdictions to search? All right. Now you remember we've learned all of this. The options. The applicant provides the address, or you use an address history trace, or a national criminal database, or all 3 of these to get good information. Address history traces are from credit bureaus. And remember, it's from Experian or others like them, and they are gold, showing you every county someone's lived in. Databases flag those jurisdictions that someone may not have lived in. You use a combo for max coverage. All right, the next question you answer is, well, how far back do we want to go on these addresses to search for records and find those counties or sources? So number 1, you can go unlimited to catch every county they've ever lived in, or limit it to 7 years or 10 years to save some cost. But remember, back in Module 4, Lesson 2, a 7-year limit misses counties where aliases might hide records. So there is a risk to doing that. So then you ask, well, which sources am I going to use? Database only? You might say, too weak. Counties? They're the backbone, right? Statewides? Great in states like Florida or North Carolina. Or federal searches? Remember, they're critical for the serious crimes. You layer them all for quality. The more of these you put in, the higher the quality. Next, you have to answer, how am I going to handle alias names? Remembering, 30% of people have aliases. So decide how many you're going to do, all legal names or just one. Skipping aliases, remember, is asking for trouble. I recommend that you always include aliases. Now, these choices are going to shape your screen strength. Now, let's talk low quality versus high quality screens, right? An indicator of a low quality screen when just looking at it might be just the price. If it's $10, $20, like some volunteer packages out there, it might use a national database and limit the number of counties, maybe just to include the applicant's current address in that county. Sounds good, could be pitched and sound super official and like it covered everything. Sounds good, right? But wrong. Databases, remember, miss a lot of counties. It's fast, high margin for screeners. They love to sell them, but they leave gaps. A high quality screen, it's more expensive. You could spend $40, $50, $60, $100 using address history traces to find all those counties, running every alias, layering the county statewide and federals to get everything you could find, and then verifying that with IDs. Now, it costs more, but it protects more. It protects your people. I'm going to walk you through some standard packages from screener websites. We'll blur some stuff out so you don't know where we're at, but you'll see how they cut cost, or like these packages are skipping aliases or statewides, or they're not clear on what they're providing. So let's take a look at those. So how do you build a quality screen like a pro. Start with the goal, cost, protection. Then use the game plan. Mix jurisdiction sources. Combine address history traces, applicant data, and databases to catch every county you can, and don't rely on just one of those. Go unlimited if you can. Use all address history, far back as it'll go, not just 7 or 10, unless you have to. Layer sources include counties, statewides, federals, and sex offender registries for max coverage. And make sure to run all those alias names you can find, the legal ones. And then finally, make sure you're verifying IDs up front against the information before it's submitted to the background screen. Building and understanding screens is a skill. Don't get suckered by a good deal that cuts corners. Know the nuances, demand quality, and protect your people. If you're going to buy a less comprehensive screen, do it because you made the decision on purpose and with the knowing of the balance of cost versus comprehensiveness. So next, we're diving into decision making after the background screen is complete, and I'll see you there.